off. I'm busy. Grisha's still the favourite. If I bet against him, I could win big.
You see a man, well-fed and wealthy, but stress has lined his face and narrowed his waist. He tries to ignore your presence, fails. He sighs.
See here, scale skin. I'm very busy. The factory is crawling with magisters, and our shipments to Arks are held up. Time is money. Don't waste my money. What do you want? Fish. This is a fish factory. I'm shipping fish to Arks. Now, please, there's the door. I suggest you use it. A sophisticated imperial lizard like yourself will surely know that in business, there's a market for everything. You just have to find it. Or...
A dark shadow passes across his face.
sometimes it finds you. That's privileged information. I have a trade to protect. Not being human, you don't seem the type, no. The answer to your question is unsurprisingly a man in a house. A man in a house buys all the void-tainted fish I can send him.
That dark shadow crosses his face once more. He shivers.
Not that I've ever met the man. Not sure I want to, if I'm honest. When you've been in business as long as I have, you learn not to question these things too closely. Now I'll get back to my work, and I suggest you get back to leaving. Good day.
He glances up.
You're still here. If any of you see so much as a rat's hair out of place, you tell the magisters. Then we can get them out, and you can get back to work.
The dog sniffs the wooden decking, like there's something wrong.
Something's wrong. I don't know, but there's something wrong, and it's underneath the floor. Be careful down there, missus. You're not smelling what I'm smelling.
The stink of beer almost covers up the stink fish. Careful now, that's the trap. Careful, I've spotted a trap.
This place stinks. There's some of these barrels.
Yes.
The fish wished it had been the one that got away. Dripping with liquid sauce, this barrel is sealed and marked with a cross. From the barrel you sense a familiar power. It thrums in your bones, in your soul. Nothing stirs in the dank and stinking basement, and yet you feel an imminent presence. Inside, you find not fish, but weapons. Powerful weapons. The kind of weapons the Magisters took from the Hollow Marshes.
Come play with me. I know you. I know your scars. I'll rip apart your scars. The push come to shove.
I'll yield to none. Just when I think this land holds... Still, at least this is an interesting variation on Dismal.
If any of you see so much as a rat's hair out of place, you tell the Magisters. Then we can get them out, and you can get back to work. You should leave.
He looks surprised. Might be faking it. Might not.
What weapons? What basement? Honestly, I've no idea.
He stops. Sighs.
Lohar's smuggling weapons to Arx. He hides them in the basement, and I make sure they reach the destination. What they're used for and who uses them isn't my business. And it's not yours either. You don't find Lohar. Lohar finds you. And when he does, expect trouble. I admire your bravado. I hope it doesn't prove fatal.
He swallows, like he has a lump in his throat.
You look like the kind of person who's very forgetful, with the right motivation. I have a sum of money in my pocket. It adds up to a very good time in the tavern. God's fine. Take it and go. And if you say a word to Julian or anyone else, expect trouble.
He turns back to his work. You turn towards the safe.
I'm Alexander. You're the sorcerer, Mary Lane.
Oh, I'm always the sorcerer.
If any of you see so much as a rat's hair out of place, you
Give up, sorcerer? Why? You're no better.
Might as well have rotted in the death fog.
The dwarf is unnatural. She calmly opens her left eye, then her right.
What do you want? Nah, nice quiet spot for a dwarf to get some shut-eye. Cobwebs, I reckon. Maybe some spiders and silverfish, rats. Nothing you want. Unless you collect cobwebs, I guess.
The dwarf unfolds her arms and shoots to her feet.
All right, elf. Right glad Lohar ain't left us here to wither. Those brutes are taking their sweet time down there. I gotta send word soon. Who knows? Anything that gives away what Mordus has been up to. Probably got all sorts of tricks for covering his tracks, but the goons downstairs should sniff out something. That weird priest's been hanging around Lohar for ages. Now he's vanished. Poof. Those half-wits below will know more. Get to it then. But tell the lunkheads that Glenna sent you before they bash your brains in.
Maybe if we had a crowbar.
You think a crowbar would open this thing? What? You got rocks knocking round that noggin of yours. We'd have more luck asking Duna to open it for us than for it to budge by our own hands.
I've spotted something.
They're coming for us, you reckon?
Are you daft? Of course they'll come for us. Lohars ain't gonna just twiddle his toes forever.
Maybe if we had a crowbar.
You think a crowbar would open this thing? What? You got rocks knocking round that noggin of yours. We'd have more luck asking Duna to open it for us than for it to budge by our own hands.
What's this? I found something.
Lohar ain't gonna fly you just 'cause they're coming for us, you reckon?
Are you daft? Of course they'll come for us. Lohars ain't gonna just twiddle his toes.
A skull. It's missing an eye. As far as locks go, this one's pretty macabre.
Maybe if we had a crowbar.
You think a crowbar would open this thing? Huh? You got rocks knocking round that noggin of yours. We'd have more luck asking Duna to open it for us than for
There we
us
go.
to budge by
The
our
door's
own
open.
hands.
By Duna's dagger dragon. You here to free us or kill us?
The male dwarf expels 2 lungfuls of air and glances happily at his companion.
We've only been fretting here for a few hours, but it's felt like days. That snot-nosed priest's as slippery as a snake in an oil drum.
Ain't found nothing that lets on what Modus is up to. Only thing we managed were to close that door and get us stuck. And if there's another door out there, never could find it.
Nohar ain't gonna be pleased.
Ain't no telling where that priest has gone to. Started acting all funny not so long ago, then flew the coop. Well, at first, he was just buddying around with Lohar and the rest, you know. But then he'd start looking all sickly and run off for a day or two. Then some stranger tried taking old Lohar down, but got himself caught and tied up. Ain't no coincidence Modus went hanging around then.
She taps a finger against her forehead.
A woman knows things. Nothing's getting past me. Best we head off then. We've got business to attend to.
Look out! I see a trap
This
nearby.
won't do. If I can get stuck, then I can get unstuck.
The shrine depicts Duna, yet has clearly seen better days. Scratches and fissures deface its exterior, and its eyes have been gouged hollow. You run your hands along the exterior until your fingers graze the button noted in the schematic. Your words are swallowed by the chamber's thick air. There's no mistaking the sound of stone chafing stone. The entrance to the chamber grinds open, filling your lungs with slightly less stale air.
A skull. It's missing an eye. As far as locks go, this one's pretty macabre. A skull. It's missing an eye. As far as locks go, this one's pretty macabre.
The shrine depicts Duna, yet has clearly seen better days. Scratches and fissures the stone is cold against your palm. If this figure once held power, it has since been depleted. You scrape your knee on the wooden floor. Nothing else happens. There's no mistaking the sound of stone chafing stone. The entrance...
I'm just another useless elf. Might as well have rotted in the death box. What's even the point?
I'm always the sorcerer.
That's not good.
One more time.
All this damn work and nothing to show for it.
Get her, Dennis. Get that sorcerer.
Might as well have rotted in the death box. What's even the point?
Could be worse, you know. You could be a dwarf, for starters. The wisdom of the ancients. Could be worse, you know.
For a while longer yet.
You can't go in there, missus. The Meister isn't home and the Magister's locked her house up for her. They was very angry about it. They said mean things about the Meister and they left a mess, a big one. She's my friend. She was one of the Magisters once. She was very high up. She used to look for god people and help them. But then she stopped that and just stayed in the house all the time. She used to play with me,
But then the Magisters took her away, they did. They took her outside the village. I'm not allowed outside the village.
She looks around theatrically to see if there's anyone listening.
When the wind blows from over the stream, I can hear the Meister. I can hear her crying.
She gives you a look of the darkest meaning. Then she takes a deep breath, puts on a happy smile, turns and skips away. The door has been sealed shut. The Magisters have nailed a notice to the door. The notice reads, "Warning, do not enter, crime scene. Meister Siva has been accused of conspiracy, murder and high treason. She shall hang by the hands at the farmlands gallows until anyone found trespassing on these premises before her trial concludes shall be charged as an accomplice and will share her fate." You notice that the message is signed Magister Raymond in the name of Dallas Most Holy.
You can't go in, missus. The Meister isn't home and the Magisters locked the door. They was very angry about it. They said mean things about the Meister and they left a mess, a big one.
This place has seen better than...
Now is not the time for a bath.
Why would I kill Lucian's second most charming son?
A Magister guard approaches. Behind her, on the gallows, 2 lizards. One in a Magister uniform hangs dead from her neck. The other hangs from her hands, still alive.
Step away from the prisoner, reptile! That's internal order business. you'd do well to leave it alone. Let's just say Zeus and there was of help to sorcerers, and leave it at that. You're going to... what, now? She betrayed Alexander. I'd sooner die than free her.
I did not kill Alexander, you stupid ape. Release me.
I'll regret this, I know I will. All right, I'll stand aside.
The lizard hangs from the gibbet, her face blooded and her scales discolored. Her eyes are closed, but her tongue flickers as you approach.
Welcome to Driftwood, God-woken.
One bloody eye cracks open, glittering gold appearing from beneath the swollen lid.
Chased you all the way here from Fort Joy, did they? Very well then, cut me down. There is work to be done. Or indeed you could stand there gawping as if you were a cow ordered to dance a reel. This is a masterful performance. I would applaud it, but well.
The lizard grimaces, shifting awkwardly as she dangles.
I am in intense pain, kin. You are either insufferably cruel or insufferably stupid. Be quick about it. Who knows when that magistrate might return? God's teeth, it feels good to move again. Now, best scurry off before that magistrate wanders back. Meet me at my home in Driftwood, and we can see what you're made of.
Still a chance. There you are, little egg.
She leaps up and grabs the egg with her foot, kicking it under her warm underbelly and settling down upon it contentedly.
Shh, little beaver baby. Mama's here, warm and here with you again.
She cocks a black eye up at you and winks.
Thank you. I have something for you. Something I buried behind the coop. It's yours. It's yours. Unless some other scratchily poker found it first, of course.
Did you expect a needle? Did you expect a needle?
I've spotted something.
As long as you stay put, you'll be safe.
The Meister sits slumped in a chair, looking around the room as she works her shoulder with one hand. It looks...
Damnable red cloak baboons ransacking my wardrobes, as if I would keep ancient valuable secrets in a pile with my unmentionables.
She takes a deep breath, and with a twist, a click, and a screech of pain, she shoves her shoulder back into its socket.
I swear by the seven, if we did not have more important matters to attend to.
Reaching across the table, she pulls a bowl of hot water towards her and fishes some bandages, a needle, and thread out of a box. She slowly starts to tend to her wounds.
At least the barbarians were unable to club their way into my vault, so everything you need should be safe. Apparently I had a claw in murdering their darling divine-in-waiting Alexander.
The Meister wrenches the bandage, pulling the fabric tight against her wound. She winces before tying it off in a neat knot, but you can see the red stain already spreading across the fabric.
Never mind that. That I was here the entire time. Apparently my cunning transcends time, space, and common sense.
Meister Siva freezes, her eyes locked on you, her claws mid-swipe, cutting a new stretch of bandage.
Why on earth should I have thought anything else? Not that I was sorry to hear about his death. I doubt my grin helped matters during the interrogation. Enthusiasm? On a weekday? My word. We shall begin once we have the tools we need from my vault. You may have been chosen Godwoken, but becoming divine requires more than a supernatural pat on the head. Come, Godwoken. It is time to see just how awake you are. Perhaps you have noticed the safe in the floor. You will find it just beside the wall bed.
A stone door lies flush with the floorboards. Etched whorls in the granite frame a delicate rotary dial. Taking your time, you carefully enter the combination. The metallic sounds of the tumblers falling within the mechanism let you know you entered the code correctly.
Excellent. Follow me. Your time is at hand, Godwoken.
Ancient rooms. Weird contraptions. This place is an arcanist's dream.
The Meister is examining her wounds, prodding at this, wincing at that. Her face seems grim as she turns to you.
Do you know what it means to have the power of the divine, Godwoken? And you, in your infinite wisdom, would know what is better. You would judge your enemies without prejudice and make decisions that could hurt your own for the greater good. No, becoming the divine means taking on the power of all the gods and the responsibility for all the races. The divine was created by the gods to shelter us from the void. The divine cannot use her power for anything else. Very well, then. Let's see if we can't snatch divinity from the jaws of the void. The ritual itself is quite simple. Drop some blackroot in the bowl, mix in a little blood, set the concoction aflame, and then inhale the smoke. Ignore any feelings of dizziness, burning in your lungs, or a dire sense of existential dread. They're all perfectly normal, although you will need to sacrifice a little sauce along the way. Everything you need is here. Ingredients in the cupboard. Sauce in the glowing fountain. Ritual in the tome by the bookcase. Even an incinerator to provide a flame.
The Meister looks back at her wounds, curiously prodding them as fresh blood oozes out, staining her claws.
Quite. Mind you, being torn asunder by a Voidwoken would be even more inconvenient. So if you wouldn't mind...
The Meister points sharply to the ingredients cupboard.
Once, although not by a Godwoken. My assistant did not believe that one had to be chosen by a god to become divine.
She waves a bandaged hand absent-mindedly, wincing slightly.
A headstrong and thoughtless girl, but the experience was... was quite educational. From observing her, I gather that the ritual involves inhaling the smoke, a lot of screaming, and a rather sudden death. Well, certainly. It is not my place to police the stupidity of others. I have to admit I was curious. Imagine if it had been a success. Why, then anyone could have ascended, even I... Alas, success was beyond her reach. quite fascinating to watch, though. I've never seen a body burn from the inside out before. And do not lose anything. These ingredients are rare indeed. I'm not hiking back out to the cloisterwood to fetch you more blackroot.
Opening the door, you see a selection of ingredients, thrown together in no particular order. After a quick rummage, you spot the blackroot, nestled between the grated dragon's tongue and drudene oil. You gather up the blackroot, obsidian lance, and ancient bowl, and kick the door of the cupboard closed. As you suck the smoke deep into your lungs, your vision starts to swim and cloud. As the world fades away, you lose all sense of being grounded. You reach out, but you could feel yourself falling slowly, sinking into the depths of your own soul. Bathed in the half-light of these starless barrens, you spot a figure you could only describe as a second self. It looks haggard and weak, its very voice but a feeble echo of your own.
My chosen, come. Come closer, so that you may see me as I truly am. Look me in the eyes.
The apparition clasps your face in its shaking hands. You suddenly feel your eyes tingle. Everything becomes brighter, sharper. Blacks and whites become glorious bursts of color, then fade back into their accustomed spectrum.
Blind eyes, shine brightly. Speak the spell, and see.
Gone is the strange mirror image of yourself. Before you stands the goddess Zolstissa in all her spectral glory.
You know me now, don't you? I saved you from drowning. I blessed you, made you powerful. And now I've come to seek some power in return. Your god-woken soul is my last refuge, my last bastion. May as well make the best of what you have to offer.
Zolstissa nourishes herself from the source that abounds in your presence. You feel it deep down inside yourself.
Ah, yes. Just what I needed. I tell you, dying just doesn't become a god. Immortality is only permanent, my dear, until one day it simply ceases to be. The void itself is hunting down the gods, leeching us in ways we never thought possible. Droplet by droplet, we are being drained. We're battling for our very survival. It's a battle we're losing, and should we truly lose, all will be cast into oblivion. Our battle is a work in progress. I never said we can't turn the tide. You must realize that our fates are now as one, just as our souls are now as one. We are I. Together we are a force to be reckoned with. But if we seek to survive the onslaught of the Void, we stand no chance unless we become vastly more powerful than we are now. That means there is but one place we can go. The Well of Ascension. It most certainly will be. The Well of Ascension is a lake, a pool of pure source, in which the powers of the Seven lie united. We gave them up freely to create the first divine. Each of us donated half of that which makes us gods. To bathe in the lake is to become our chosen. That is where the road to divinity leads, and you must be the first to reach it at all costs. There you touch upon the very heart of the matter. The Void is stronger than ever. A new divine won't be enough. You need to go to the Well of Ascension. Not to bathe in the source of the Seven, but to take it. All of it. Only she who claims everything will be everything. The Void's doom, this world's liberator. It's very simple, really. They will either bow to you or be undone. But of course, that is what they are saying to their own god woken as we speak. We both know they won't bow. Just like we both know you will never bow to them. Only one can become a god strong enough to safeguard our world. One at the expense of all others. So make no mistake, my champion. Chances are the road to divinity will be paved with dead gods. Their blood on your murderous hands. But don't let that dismay you. For these sins will be washed clean by the knowledge you committed them to save all of existence. To say they will be at your mercy, which is vastly preferable to you being at theirs. Wouldn't you agree? So fret not, but revel in the promise of the lake. I will lead you there when you're ready, when you've become a true master of the Source and speak the language of creation itself. Our journey will be fraught with peril. It is a pilgrimage of challenges that will require you to command Source like only a Godwoken can, and wield its most powerful spells.
Laughter rolls and echoes into infinity.
Perhaps. But what is a pilgrimage after all, if not a journey of atonement in search of enlightenment? Focus not on death and irony, my chosen. On life and ascension instead. We are I now. The spells you need to know I will teach you when you are ready. But first you must learn to channel the Source in greater volumes. That is why you need to seek masters of the Source. You must make them teach you, so that you may become a master in turn. So, return to Rivalon, and seek out these sages where they dwell. Convince them to share with you their deep-seated bond with the Source. Once you have, you may return to me here. Something that'll make you understand that for a god, there is precious little difference between the living and the dead. Source is. It is a constant, a subject of neither time nor transience. All of life is Source, and in Source it is. Immortally so. You have the vision of a god now. Eyes that can see spirits. The souls of the dead, made manifest in Source. Speak the spell during your peregrinations, and you will see them. Where the dead lie, the dead linger. And so much more. But I'm no longer who I once was, bound to you as I've become. I will teach you what I can, but the knowledge that will expand the bounds of your soul, that you'll have to hunt for yourself. Best of luck, my champion.
The Meister stares intently at you. Her eyes are tired and bruised, but determined.
Still alive? Gods above, there might be something to you after all.
She leans in, her bloody tongue flickering hungrily about your face.
Tell me, what did you see? What you know?
She sighs impatiently as you hack up the last of the green smoke.
You can't channel enough Source? Gods be damned, why couldn't you have a nice simple problem? Finding an orc to dance the hornpipe, perhaps? Indeed not. And ever more difficult when you've been purged. I was a master of Source once, but no longer. The Magisters saw to that. The river of my Source has been damned. My link to the font from which it flows, severed. So we must seek alternatives. Alas, the only Source Masters not yet hauled off to Fort Joy or turned into meat puppets are those too dangerous or cunning for the Magisters to contain. Sorcerers that allowed their power to corrupt them. Many are wicked, cruel, vile, and generally not good teacher material, but we may have no others to turn to. Just so, some of these are quite dark, twisted individuals. The kind of creatures that grew bored pulling their legs from spiders and so moved on to people. However, it is the path we walk, no matter what the cost. No matter what is asked of you.
The Meister doubles over in a violent coughing fit, struggling for breath. After a few moments, she regains her composure, wiping a thin smear of blood from the corner of her mouth.
No matter what is asked of you, you must learn from them. And you do not seem to be paying attention. Sorcerers, evil, controlling your source, saving Rivellon, please. Please tell me at least some of this rings a bell. Your focus, your only focus, must be on finding these masters, on finding the secrets to divinity. Nothing else matters. The Magisters have kept ledgers with all known sorcerers, especially the powerful ones not yet captured. They would be an invaluable resource. But do be careful not to get caught. I was their guest for a time, and I promise you the gallows was the most comfortable part of the experience. And if their barracks turns out to be as empty as their skulls, just try to keep an ear to the ground. There may still be powerful sorcerers hiding in these lands.
As she speaks, one of her wounds reopens, a dark red stain spreading across her tunic. She hisses in frustration and starts to bind the gash.
I wish there was more I could do, but in this condition, I would be more a hindrance than a boon. Godspeed, and remember, do whatever it takes.
The spirit of an elegant elven woman materializes before you. She seems surprised.
You can see me. A god woken in my presence. You honor me.
The spirit looks at you regretfully.
It is hard to hear of such power and not covet it for yourself. I lie to myself and convince myself that I am special. But I am not special. I am dead.
This puddle, it glows. What could this mean?
No can do, chickadee. You're not leaving my sight for a while longer yet.
But Mom! Come on. Come on. Can't I go and play with the others?
I have to stop these
No can do,
disappearances.
chickadee.
I'm watching you, stranger. That's Magister business. Keep your nose out of it. Of course, sir. Right away.
No can do, chickadee. You're not leaving my
The
sight.
Magister's jaw is tightly clenched as he stares out of the window. He senses you.
What?
You doing okay, boy of mine? Fine, Bub, you're a hero.
Come on, can't I go play with the others?
Those tinkerers all look the same. Scruffy, gold-hungry, sly wretches. This one has a grey beard and a dark cloak, according to reports.
You doing okay, boy of mine?
Ma, I'm fine.
You're better than fine, Bub. You're a hero.
Come on, can't I go and play with the others?
No can do, chickadee. You're not leaving my sight for a while longer yet.
Elson, my inkwell is
course,
dry.
sir.
Fetch me some
Right
more.
away.
Come on, can't I go and play with the others?
No can do, chickadee. You're not leaving my sight for a while longer yet.
But Ma... Come on, can't I go and play with the others?
No can do, chickadee. You're not leaving my sight for a while longer.
My career is at stake. Barwick, would you have me die?
Nothing good. Boy bugs are everywhere. Thank the divine you're here to protect us.
Yes, of course.
Divine order to march against the ancient empire. The time has come to ease their daily grind and insist their hearts to overwhelm their minds. An empire built upon the backs of slaves does not deserve them.
Hey, back away from the stairs or you'll find out it... You again. I told you to scram once. Don't make me say it with my fists. You can't buy my friendship. Oh, you can buy 10 seconds of me eyeballs examining the ground for, oh, let's say, a small fortune. You look like you'd be good for it.
He pockets the coin and gazes dramatically at the ground mere inches from your feet.
What's this? I found something. Go on then.
Look at that. A fresh face. Shrewd and sophisticated. Like any true lizard.
Welcome be, Governor. Take a load off and enjoy.
My good lady, I see that you accompany no other than His Royal Majesty, the Red Prince. I have a...
Of course she'll be so kind. Speak freely, kinsman.
Directions, milady. I was bid to send you to none other than Bramos the Wanderer. The greatest of all dreamers was waiting for you here, my prince. But...
He looks around the hazy room with hasted eyes.
The House of Shadows stirs. The Honorable Bramos sensed them closing in. He had no choice but to flee from Driftwood. A little ways east he went, in search of safety, to an encampment of paladins. You will find him there, Majesty. And with that, I have told my tale.
Indeed I am. We will follow your directions. You have my thanks, kinsman.
Prince of Princes, I am humbled and grateful.
He bows deeply before the Red Prince, as reverently as one would before a god.
Watch him fight. Watch him. See that? Right in the kisser.
The House of Shadows stirs. An ominous phrase. It's as if I can feel the onset of night. Perhaps. But you must realize that until a short while ago, the very existence of the House of Shadows was a mystery to us. If this thing of darkness steps into the light, it must be desperate. And desperate means dangerous. Who said anything about fear? I hardly know the meaning of the word. But I suppose you do have a point. If they are dangerous, we will simply have to be more dangerous. And if they fear, we will prove worthy of their dread. Onward, then. Let them strike when they may. We shall be ready for them.
Hail, darling. Call me Dorothea.
She draws close. You feel her breath on your neck, hot, moist.
Oh, yes. I have something that you want. But I only bargain with those I deem deserving. Those who have accomplished great things. So, tell me, are you worthy of my gift? If you swam your way here, I might consider that a notable triumph. But honey, surely you've accomplished something of note. Indeed? This is acceptable. You demonstrate more courage than anyone bearing the title of Magister, in any case. Now, tell me, are you ready for me to grant you your greatest desire? I can't. Not yet. First, you must look into my ring and tell me what you see there. Gaze into the gem, my lovely.
She flashes her ring at you, and you stare at the luminescent stone at its center. You are floating on a current of pure source, surrounded by a kaleidoscope of colors and fuzzy images. On the horizon looms a dark silhouette. As you approach, a beam of light washes the shadow away, revealing to you
Yes. I see you clearly now. It is knowledge you crave. You want scholars to bow in your presence, begging for truth in an age of lies. I will fulfill this desire. In return, I ask for one thing in return. A kiss.
Dorothea sighs, a fusion of a kitten's purr and a cockroach's clacking.
For me to help you, our souls must touch. And a kiss brings our souls closer, does it not? It shall fulfill both your desire and mine. Most delicious. Meet me around the corner, and come alone. An audience is not required. Your friends should leave. I prefer a more...
Dorothea sees you and heaves a shuddering sigh. She bites into her lower lip with enough force that a drop of blood seeps out. Blood and something else. Something green.
Darling, I admit I wish we could share more carnal pleasures. Yet I think a kiss is the height of intimacy. Now come closer and receive your soul's desire.
You draw closer and close your eyes, eager to feel her lips on yours. Yet her lips do not press against yours, and her hands do not caress your face. She is a woman no longer, but a were-spider. Her fang painlessly sinks into your neck. You still hear her words, though they sound muffled, as if filtered through a glass wall.
The knowledge you needed is now yours. My venom penetrates your mind and lifts your senses. We part ways now. I'll remember this moment. You've seen my true self. There's nothing more to know.
She kisses her forefinger, then presses it against your scaled forehead.
Now go.
The Seven protect.
Are you? No, you are.
What do you want? Boss is busy. Good. Boss could use some good news. Listen up. Don't waste his time. These are explosive times. Be respectful.
Easy. Marla's one of us.
I brought you up from girl to woman, Marla. Like you was my own.
He lifts his right arm, showing a white bandage beneath his ribs. A wet red spot shows through.
This ain't the thanks I expected. Who sent you?
The formidable dwarf slams his fist on the side table. You hear a loud crack.
Enough! Do you know they killed Anhar? Do ya? Start talking sense or I'll take that tongue right out of your mouth and fry it for supper. Bart, Cade, get her to talk or bleed her out. She ain't one of mine anymore.
His sneer travels from the restrained dwarf to you.
And you. You better have a damn good reason for coming here. Brave lass, waltzing in here now. I hope for your sake you've got good news for me. Family matter. She's one of mine, acting like her brains are scrambled though. Came after me with a knife. Lucky for me, she caught an old wound. Scar slowed down the knife. So, how'd you make it out of Fort Joy? Why not? I love a good story. Here's one I heard lately. A group of strangers landed on the beaches outside town. Meister Seaver's people. You one of her little seekers? Chasing down Godwoken and begging them to save us all?
Come, sister. What do you think was gonna happen?
So? What do you want? Reckon I do. Knowing Seaver, she sent you looking for sorcerers, I bet. I could help you. But last I heard, you was working for the Magisters. Big shots at the boats. Now, why in the name of all that hurts would I help a worm like that?
An unpleasant smirk twitches around the corners of his mouth.
Right. I reckon I could help you out. Depending on what you can do for me.
He gestures towards the bandage across his side.
Had a bit of family trouble lately. My girl Marla got it in her head to come after me with a short blade. That ain't like Marla. Ain't like her to pull the silent treatment either. Something's going on. And wouldn't you know it, that blade she used wasn't any normal bit of steel. Belonged to another of my people. Guy's name is Mordus. Bit of a loner, but smart as hell. I sent a few guys to go check on him. See if he knew what had got into Marla, but no one can find him. I'd like a word with the guy.
Come, sister. What do you think?
Glad you see it that way. No one's seen him in a good few. I've got some people checking out his house near the tavern now, though. Tell them I sent you, and they'll let you know what they've found. Truth is, they might be glad to see you. Reckon a sorcerer will have better luck finding one of their own. Well, like I said, Mordus is a special guy. A sorcerer, matter of fact. Maybe even one of the ones Seaver's after. If there's something you want to find out from him, you might want to ask before I have my word with him. Here, you can take this off my hands. More suited to your kind, really. Good luck. Better get out there before Mordus makes it all the way past Arks. I asked you for a man, not a note.
He takes the letter from your hands and reads it quickly. face hardening with anger as he reaches the end.
Bloody goddamn spit-sucking weasel! This is bad. Not just for me and mine. Not just for you and yours. This is bad for everyone. Hell if I know, but it don't sound good. Seems as though Mordus wasn't mine after all. Trouble is, I don't know whose he is. Of course. That's why I haven't heard from the cave. Sabotage. Listen up, I need your help. We all do. Mordus has his hands on something dangerous. Something I was trying to protect us from. Not just my folks. The whole damn realm. Look, me and mine, we move classified cargo. Take it right off Magister ships and put it into the hands of those that will use it rightly. Trouble is, we came across something no one ought to have. Not the Magisters, not my folks, not the gods themselves. I ordered it to be destroyed. I guess Mordus, whoever he's working for, wants it for themselves. That can't happen. The less you know, the better. Trust me. Stop Mordus and I'll take care of the rest. My people had an operation up in the caves outside town. Good access to red ships and plenty of privacy too. Haven't heard from them in a couple of days now. I thought maybe we'd lost the messengers to Voidwoken in the hills, but now I think it's worse than I thought. I bet my lucky left foot Mordus is in the cave. You gotta get to him before he gets his hands on that cargo. Pray to whoever you pray to that it ain't too late.
Tell the truth now. Who was it?
Finally, someone with a little sense around here. Give me your map. I'll show you where we were operating, where I think Mordus will be. I don't want to know what'll happen if he gets what he's after.
Loha rubs his forehead beneath his hood and stares at the ground. As you approach, his face hardens and he stands at his full height.
So?
And insist their heart to overwhelm their mind.
Off the Fortjoy you go, nasty sorcerer. You can stay there with the dirty...
This must be the place Loha mentioned. It looks unassuming enough.
Watch it. Those are source hounds.
What is it, boy? Some sauce.
The kid is whistling an off-key...
Ain't up to out. Just looking for someone. Seen Ben Mesd. Ooh. Baron won't like that. Won't like that one little bit.
The kid shoves his hands in his pockets and ambles off, resuming his tuneless whistling.
Peeper. Poor little monster Peeper, baby. There's only one way. Yes, there's only one thing to do. Papa! Yes, yes, yes! He wanders. He roosts. But he is special. He can help Peeper. Can keep him safe. Then you'd better be the best mama you can be. Care for Peeper and stroke him and bring him straight to his papa. What? No! Peeper's still just a baby, and Papa can help. Back, Papa? Did you find him? Did you find Peeper's Papa? Yes, yes, yes! He wanders, he roosts, but he is special. He can help Peeper, can keep him safe. Mama!
Sorcerers from the caravan. Maybe not.
I bet you're the musical sort. You've thought about taking up the lute. I got a few. A shame. Everyone's got a melody in them. You just gotta look. My brother Laszlo couldn't carry a tune in a bucket when he were a wee thing. Now he's got the voice of an angel. He's all right then, yeah? That's Laszlo, all right. If he had the blues, you'd never know it. Nothing kept his big smile from brightening the darkness. I hate the Magisters for what they'd done. Stole me brother. Stole me heart. I keep going, though, hoping to get to Ark sooner than later. Lucian's day crowds will be wanting some musical trifles. Useful? Ah, you mean... There's no shortage of suffering, that's for sure. Maybe I could do me part to help your efforts. Come back later, then. I need a bit...
Come here. The sun's warm.
The little squirrel cowers beneath a leafy frond, peeping up at you through liquidy eyes that tremble with terror.
Please, please don't step on me. My brother was stomped by that ugly bridge troll. I saw his eyeball pop.
Here be witchery. Trespass not.
Oh my gods, you're ugly. You turn milk green and a Magister's red coat black. My Mistress Alice might fancy you, though. She has a taste for the odd, if she ever makes it back. The Magisters with the red coats chased her into the woods. They'll be sorry.
Smells of lavender and charred flesh. It's almost homely. Almost. Is that her eye? Did she pluck out her own eye?
miserable-looking creature.
A scrawny, unwell-looking bird sits despondently among some dead hens.
Oh, I'd give up my wings for a respite from this pestilence. My feathers are molting. My wings can't carry me anymore. I feel so cold. All I can think about is warmth.
It painstakingly attempts to flap its spindly wings, failing miserably.
I doubt anything can remedy how terrible I feel.
The bird ruffles its patchy coat of feathers, glaring at you with beady eyes.
You're no healer. How dare you suggest such a thing? Besides, I'm far too valuable, a trophy animal, to just be put down. You're nothing but a bloodthirsty wretch.
A scrawny, unwell... A scrawny,
Keep away from me.
Is it dead?
An egg?
The egg is warm to the touch, but not from the ashes. This warmth comes from deep within the egg. The egg is smooth and glossy dark, like some rare volcanic mineral. From deep within its core, a fiery glow pulsates, almost like a heartbeat.
A phoenix egg is a priceless treasure. It should be cared for.
A powerful thing, this egg. Who knows what gifts it might grant if consumed.
To harm something so rare, so defenseless, it would be a terrible sin. Keep the eggs.
I shall keep this egg. It could be important.
Shush, Mabel! Don't you shush me, Geraldine. I'll talk to whomever I like. Shh! They're still here. I know they're still here. My apologies for my idiot friend, but we could... You won't believe it. She won't believe it, Mabel. She'll think we're mad cows. Truth is, kind miss, that we are not, in fact, cows. At least not such.
We're people. Captives, to be exact. Enslaved by the witch.
You're not here to visit Alice Elysian, are you?
I told you not to trust her. No, you didn't, Geraldine. Now shush. I'm going to ask her anyway. But what if she finds out? Geraldine, how could things possibly be worse than they are now? I can think of a few ways. Mabel, she can hear us whispering. I know, Geraldine, I know. Now shut up.
Look, we really do need your assistance.
Just get us something to drink.
What my friend here means to say, kind lady, is that there's a cure for our condition. Alice Elysion has it in her house. If we could drink it, we could regain our former forms, as it were, and steal away.
Don't mention the rats. For God's sake, Geraldine. The witch ain't here.
What my friend wishes to say is that Alice went into the cloisterwood collecting herbs and hasn't been seen in some time. But that there, just down the way, is her house. She has a frog. You can't miss it. Would you mind awfully procuring for us a small potion that Alice...
Thank the gods.
I humbly thank you. You won't regret it.
You may have heard rumors of a rat problem down here. The rumors are true, but not in the way.
As rat problems go, this one is a doozy.
Mama!
Rats.
You won't take it off me! You won't take it off me! The book! Alice's book! You won't take it off me!